Okay, so the very intro of the song is just power chords like this. So it's a G5, and I would recommend playing with your 3rd and 4th, because I do hear that note there, but if you just want to play with your 1st and pinky and forget about the 4th string, totally cool. So we go... So it's a G5, slide up to the B flat 5, down, up, down, up. Okay, I wouldn't panic too much if you're not getting the exact strumming I am. Just try to make it sound like the song. If you don't have that right hand rhythm dialed in, try singing the part. It's okay. Okay, even Billy Gibbons sometimes is up when, theoretically, you should kind of be down, but everything he plays sounds brilliant. So it's not the end of the world. I do like to have that consistent. So I always know where I am, whether I'm on the beat or off the beat, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much. Have a crack at those chords. You chug a little. You get a bit of palm muting in there as well. Palm mute. Yeah, and you can see that change to the last G. Even that change there, I'm kind of hitting up as I do it. Up, down, 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 up. Okay, do your best, but just make it sound like the song. I have full confidence in you. Okay, so the next part, that's your opening riff, comes to a stop, and then you get this really cool riff. It's wacky. It goes through some wacky territory. So let me just show it to you. That's the main riff, okay, of this intro, and that's the riff that got me hooked. I mean, I just thought that was the coolest when I heard that. I thought this is a damn cool riff. So it's kind of like a G minor pentatonic, but he actually adds the major 3rd in. Now you're probably going, I don't know what that means. Well, I made a whole course on that. If you want to learn that vocabulary, check out Rockabilly Rebuild. I'll tell you more about that at the end of the lesson. We'll keep moving. I'll show you what's happening here. So we slide from 1 to 3 on the 6th string. That's into G, so in the key of G. It's pretty much G minor, but has that sneaky happy major 3rd. Okay, so then we go to the 1st fret on the 5th string. Then we go to the 2nd fret on the 5th string, and we hammer that. So then play the 3rd fret on the 5th string, open 4th string, okay, and then pinky on the 4th fret, and that's the blues note. You don't usually see that in a minor context, the minor blues, with this note. You don't see that a lot. You very rarely see that, and that's why I think it's so cool. So you've already worked through this. Okay, in bar 9 on your transcription, you'll see as we come into it, so we're still at the end of bar 8, we play the 1 on the 5th string, open 4th string at the start of bar 9, 4th fret on the 5th string, okay, and then we go 3, and then we go to the 1. It was all on the 5th string, okay, so we've got... Okay, and then we repeat the same thing as what we did at the beginning. But once we hit that 4, we do a pull-off, or we can slide back to the 3. I suspect he might have done his 3rd finger on the 4th fret there, and slid back to the 3. So the 4th fret. Okay, so 1 to 3, 1, 2, 3, open. 4, 3, then 1, then 3, 1, and then 3. So that should sound like this. I'll do it slow. Oh, hang on. So I play this in a variety of different ways, but I really think he's going slide the 2nd finger up, open 4th string, play the 3rd finger on the 4th fret, and slide it back. Okay, then 1, 3, 1. Okay, so that repeats again, but there's one little kooky little thing Paulie did here. He goes, instead of going pinky 3, 1, like we did in the first one, he goes pinky 2, or 4th fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret. So 2, 1. Crazy, huh? Finishes exactly the same as the first time around. So it's almost the same thing, just repeated twice. Once. Second time. 2, 1. A little different. Okay, and that's that riff. Now we go to the verse, which is basically exactly what you were playing before. Just a little more subdued. You see, I didn't dial in the delay perfectly, and I'm paying for that because it's just slightly out of rhythm with where I want it to be. So check out my tutorial on how to set your delay pedal, and I may need to watch it as well. Where were we? So that riff, same as what you're doing in the intro. You don't really need to add anything different there, except for in the lyrics when you hear him say something like, having no fear, have no fear, or something like that. You see it goes... It goes an F5, F sharp 5, G5. Okay, and that's a bar of 2/4, by the way. So it's got this little kink in it where it goes. Okay, that's the only thing that really is different from what you did in the intro. But before it goes into the verse, into the chorus, it goes. He does full major chords there, so he goes full major chords, so B flat major, A major. From here, it goes up to a C5 with our kind of little boogie pattern thing where we, so if your thumb's up here, you're not going to be able to do this. Make sure that thumb's at the back. I talk about this in my beginner Rockabilly series actually, so check that out. Roll that under, and now you've got heaps more reach. And make sure this finger here is not like on that angle, you also won't reach. You need to get it like that. So we're playing the 8th fret on the 6th and the 10th fret on the 5th string, and we're going just like that. Back to the G, and just chug along on the G. You don't need to do anything else. G5. Back to there. Then we go A5. Then D, it's like a D major, okay, root 5. And then, okay, so 5th fret, 3rd fret, 6th fret, 5th fret. And that takes us back into the main power chord riff from the intro. And there's a great harmonica solo. So, that's everything through there. Hopefully you understood that A5 there from the 5th fret over to the D5, D major chord, so 5, 7, 7, 7. I just flattened that 3rd finger, and I'm not hitting the 1st string, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so it goes back to a verse. It does another chorus. I think it does sort of 2 verses and then a chorus. But instead of returning back to that riff where it goes, it begins the guitar solo. So in that little playthrough, I didn't play the full form of the song, I just sort of played all the excerpts of the song. And we're going to go through the first guitar solo, and then we're going to go through the second guitar solo, which is very similar to the first with a little bit of variation. Absolutely worth seeing because it's very cool. So the guitar solo, very clever, very cool. That starts at bar 45, and that goes like this. Slight. So I'll play a little first. Let's start with that bit. So that's 45 up to the end of bar 52. And that goes like this. So we're sliding in 3 to 5 on the 4th string. Then we're playing the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Then we're playing 4th fret to 5th fret. Hammer on the 3rd string. And then back to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. 6th fret on the 3rd string. 3rd fret on the 2nd string, 3rd string. Roll to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. 6th fret on the 3rd string. 5th fret on the 3rd string, 3rd fret on the 3rd string, play the 5th fret on the 4th string, and slide back to the 3rd fret. And we start again. But this time, instead of going to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, you go to the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, and everything else is pretty much the same. So you just come off. I'll just come off the back of the last bar, so where it goes. So first time, second time, go to the 3rd fret here, and walk up chromatically. 3rd fret, and then back to 6, 5, 3, 5, 3. So not really different to the first time, other than that the second note. One goes, the other goes. So this replaces that. Second time. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. That repeats, the whole thing repeats twice more with the second one that I showed you. So I'll play the whole thing and you'll understand. So to the 3rd string. That's that line. So if you've got the tab, hopefully that all comes together and you know what's going on. The second time, it just repeats that second style where we don't go to the 2nd string. So it's... Okay, let's keep moving. So the next bit is really cool. He plays the 8th fret, like that, and then slides up to the 8th fret on the 6th string. So we've moved to the C chord. We're playing over the C now. And his 3rd finger's on the 10th fret of the 2nd string and pinky on the 11th. So it's... That's weird. Okay. There we go. Just like that. And then we get this lick. So that lick is 8 on the 2nd string, 11th fret on the 1st string with a little bend, 8th fret on the 1st string, 10th fret on the 2nd string, 8th fret on the 2nd string. And then we get this. Okay, up to you whether you want to use your 1st finger and just bring your hand down. So we're playing the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and we're getting the 3, 3, and 3 on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string respectively. So, okay, or you can use your thumb. I'm trying not to knock the microphone. Hopefully I haven't been doing that the whole time. So anyhow, that's just over a G chord. So we've come back to G, and he's, you know, playing over the chord idea, which is really clever. And then we come back up here and we do this lick. It goes. So again, this is over C, and this is working off the minor 3rd of the C with a little nudge, sort of like a C minor pentatonic idea. Then we get the 6th degree. Well, sorry, first time. 11, 8, 10, 8. 12, sliding to the 12 from the 11. 8, 10, 8. Really, really nice work. Very, very cool. So when I said 6th degree there, that's the natural 6th degree of a C. I always love to know that stuff, because then when I'm ripping out a solo, I can say, hey, I love the sound of that 6th degree. I'm going to use that in that same context. And that's what my whole Rockabilly Rebuild course is about. I know you're probably like, oh my God, please don't bang on about it. You know, we just want to learn this song and go away. But I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't think it was literally the most useful piece of material I've made to date, okay? So yeah, keep that in mind. Anyhow, moving along, after that lick, he does this really cool thing where he takes that original theme and he goes... So that lick we did back here from G, the one I sort of labelled as the chromatic one, the 5, 3, 4, 5, 3 there, 6 there. Okay, we're doing the same thing now. So we're going 7 on the 4th string, 5 on the 3rd string, 6 on the 3rd string, 7 on the 3rd string, 5 on the 2nd string, and 8 on the 3rd string. So, and then we do the exact same lick from the 12th fret. And then it finishes with this awesome lick that goes. So that's barring the 10th fret on the 1st and 2nd string hitting both strings, 13th fret on the 2nd string, 11th fret on the 2nd string, and 10th fret on the 2nd string, all the while hitting that 1st string. So then we're back to parts that you already know. So that goes for another whole cycle with a verses and a chorus. I even attempted at trying to use, what do you call them? Coders. I was going to say capos. No capos in this song. I even attempted to use coders to take us back and, you know, the del segno and all that. And it kind of worked on the program, I think. But nonetheless, the next new thing for you to learn is just the next solo. So the next solo towards the end starts off exactly the same, but with, again, that chromatic one. We don't have to go to that 3rd fret on the 2nd string. We just do the... that up, but it's exactly the same as what you've already learnt. It's this next bit that's a little different, and this is super cool. So we've got the 10th fret on the 2nd string, 11th fret on the 1st string, and I've got my 1st finger on the 8th fret of the 3rd string. So, and we do this 1, 2. Now if you don't bend it, or everything, all those 3 strings, it doesn't sound like what Paulie plays. So you've really got to grab it and like... So there's that. And then there's, so that's all over C, and I guess that's kind of like a C minor 6 chord or something, but it's just a lick. Let's not get into that. And then the next thing that happens, being played over a G, is this little G minor chord, which is really, really nice. So it's the 7th fret on the 3rd string, 8th fret on the 2nd string, and 6th fret on the 1st string, and that's... Now, I wouldn't instruct you to try and perfect exactly what I've written on the tab. I'd say hold that chord, listen to what he's doing on the song, and just get the rhythm. So he's sort of hitting this thing where he's going... He's sort of hitting between the 2nd and the 1st string a little bit, sort of hitting all 3 strings, starts with all 3, then 2nd, 1st, 2nd, 1st, then all of them. Something like that. I did not agonize over that part. I just think get the feel and the rhythm of it. Like, so you've got the first bit, like that, okay? Because it's not a very specific piece of playing. You know, he didn't sit down and write down what he wanted to do there. He just probably knew the shape that he wanted and riffed at it. And I want you to do the same thing, if that's okay. So, I mean, that sounds pretty spot on to me. What I'm playing there and what I've tabbed will get you, you know, right on the money if you need that specific direction. But just have a listen and get a feel for it and hold that shape. Soloing out of chord shapes is amazing. It's just such a great thing to do, and it sounds good because chords sound good. Then it comes back to here again, and then it uses the same end from the first solo. So I don't need to teach you that again. Now to end the song, we go back to the intro. Except you'll play it better than that. That was rough. As I started thinking about doing the slidey fingers that I taught you to do it properly, rather than just playing whatever came to me, and you saw it got a little messy. But that's okay. So the only difference is you finish that riff, and this is being super fussy. You could just play the riff the way you played it before. It's going to sound great. But what I noticed in the recording was the last time he hits the open 5th string and then the 3 on the 6th there. So instead of, as we've been doing, he goes... Might have been an accident, who knows? They probably recorded that album like straight to analog tape, and there was probably those nerves of we get through this, warts and all. But I love that stuff. Like, to me, that's just, it's raw. Like, I can just feel the energy coming off the guitar in that whole recording. And you even, after the solo, I think you even hear Rock Bottom James, the singer, I don't know, he's yelling something out, and you can tell. I think everyone enjoyed that solo. It's a really great bit of work. Me too. Definitely had a big impact on me as a teenager, driving around in my Fairlane, pumping that. It's really nice to have sat down and learnt it note for note. I really enjoyed it. Knocked it over, the whole thing over in about 3 hours of intense transcribing transcription and all. So don't forget, go over to the Patreon and grab that. There's hundreds of other transcriptions on there these days. I have a website where it's all nice and organized. The Patreon is a feed. But you can jump over to the website and get access to all my tabs and all my courses like Rockabilly Rebuild, or just click like, keep watching my videos, and don't forget, if you want to go right from the beginning with some basics, check out my Rockabilly for the complete beginner course as well. That's free on YouTube. See you later. Thanks for watching. Go check out the Detonators as well. I'll stop pointing at you now.